What's up, everybody? Rich Airy, runningwad.com. This is the Long Run Project podcast. I'm here with my good friend, Dr. Chris Garino. Chris, how you living? What's going on in San Diego?
Not much, Rich. Same old, same weather, same stuff going. Just staying busy.
Right on. How's the knee doing?
It's getting there. We'll see. Hopefully, I'll be back out there soon doing a little run walking and doing some mobility stuff, doing some agility stuff. I kind of been posting some of my rehab on my Instagram at the Long Run Project. So follow me there. I'm slowly creeping back.
Baby steps, man. It's like we were been talking about. There's no fire, so there's no rush. And like Jack Daniels says, when in doubt, slow down.
Yeah.
So it's a tough pill to swallow sometimes, but usually with a little bit of patience, things work themselves out, and you can get back on track.
Yeah. Mike Wardian told me about when I was talking to him. He told me about his worst injuries ever. He had like 5 stress fractures in his pelvis and 5 hernias all at the same time. Jeez. Insane. That's like insane to think about. And he's like, I just thought of it as I had to give my time back to the running gods. And I was like, that's a pretty good way to look at it, So I was like, all right, give my time. It's all good,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing for a lot of people. You really have to give back to your body what you take from it. And too oftentimes athletes and runners, they want to take, but they don't really take the time to do the mobility, do the strength training, maybe hit a yoga class or even get a pedicure, whatever it may be, to take care of your body. But, if you're training 10, 15, 20 hours a week, like you really need to be putting in, 5, 10, 15 hours a week of, active recovery, immobilization, icing, all these different prehab and things that are going to keep you glued together, because eventually if you don't do those things, the wheels are going to come off and you're going to have to end up taking off. You're going to have to give all that time back at once, so you're better off doing it week to week, day to day, and making it part of your routine and part of your training.
Yep.
Yeah. But cool thing we got going on here, ladies and gentlemen. We have acquired a sponsorship of sorts. It is with boomrunning.com. Chris, this is a friend of yours. We're going to get into his story here in 1 second. But if you go to boomrunning.com, check out all their gear. They've got some pretty rad stuff. They've got it's lifestyle running gear. They've got trucker hats. They've actually got some official merchandise for the Western States 100 that's coming up here in 11 days. It's kind of the kickoff to the ultra racing season of the summer. And if you use the code LONGRUN at checkout, you will receive free shipping. So go there, check out the stuff, get yourself some cool running gear, and support the cause, support the brand. They got some really rad stuff. And Chris, why don't you get into a little bit, tell us about everything that you've been connected with Boom Running and how you got tied into them and what they got going on.
Yeah, so Mike Daly and Steve Johnson are the two main brains behind it. So they are both really, really good dudes, master runners. And Mike Daly, me and him linked up about 4 months ago or so, and he reached out and wanted to get stronger for this race. So, Rich, you can probably speak to this better than me, but I think the way Western States is the lottery system, and people are always like in every year they're trying to get into the race, and this was Mike's first try. And he got in. He got lucky in the lottery. He got in on his first try. Most people, I've heard it takes people 4 or 5 years to get in. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. He was definitely not planning this. He has a couple ultra marathons under his belt before he found out he got in. But this was like, he was just throwing his name in there to start building up his. I guess you get so many if you do it the next year, you get a little bit more chance of making it in the race, and I guess it's kind of a compounding thing. So he gets in. So he's like, holy shit, I'm in this race. It's crunch time. So he's like, he went all in, man. He got a really good coach. He trains his butt off, like he does everything right. And he's like, I need a strength coach. I need someone that knows running and that knows strength stuff, And so I'm like, yeah, sure. This was just about the time I was starting up the Long Run Project, actually. And he was my very first person, And I'm just like, yeah, dude. I'm like, let's do it. And with any business and with anything, like we're all like trying to give back, and we all don't have that much money being runners. So I was like, dude, I'm like, I want to do this for you as like you can put my name out there. I can help you in different ways, and let's just work together. Let's be a team. Let's not worry about paying each other anything. Let's just like make it fun and let's do it. Let's accomplish this goal. And he's been killing it. He ran the Who's In El Moro 50K. He ended up winning that. And he went and did an 80-mile training run over Memorial Day weekend on the course for Western States. And he said he felt great with that. He says the climbing he's been doing has been feeling great. So it's just it's a great feeling to see such a good guy and a good friend, accomplish this huge, huge goal. Like when I heard about your story with Leadville, I was just so pumped for you. It's like you just got to be stoked for these huge like milestones in people's lives. It's a big deal. I mean, just like running your first marathon or running your first 5K, it's all a big deal, and it's been cool seeing him go along the way. And I'll actually be seeing him racing, as you know. I'll be crewing for him out there, so
right on.
That should be interesting. So
yeah, crewing's an interesting thing. I did it last year in Leadville for a friend, and it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of cool stuff that you don't necessarily see when you're racing. But crewing is probably more stressful than the actual racing that the runner goes through. At least I thought so, because you don't want to miss them, like they're out there for hours at a time, and you're their only like connection, and you want to get them everything they need. And we actually missed Greg at the first or the second aid station. The dude, it was still early in the morning, and it was a little bit cooler last year, and so he was bundled up, and me and my brother, we missed him, and he ran right by us and didn't stop to look for us. So like he ran the first he ran the first 40 miles and didn't, eventually he ran out of the stuff he had on him, so he had to he's I don't know if he's a vegan or if he's like it definitely doesn't eat meat all that often. So like he had a very specific things, like the Vegas sport and like things that he needed. And then like if you practice with all that stuff and then all of a sudden you're without it and you got to eat like Snickers bars or whatever they might, chocolate chip cookies, Chips Ahoy, whatever they might have on course, that can wreak havoc on your on your GI and everything like that. And so that was, we missed them, and that was, I was stressed out the rest of the day until, because we were supposed to see him at like 7:30 in the morning or something, and we ended up not seeing him until like more like 1 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it was super stressful, but it's fun nonetheless, and it's like you said, like giving back to the running community, and it's just another way to be a part of it. And again, if you're looking to get into ultras, it's a good way to experience and kind of see what people go through and the emotions, and you learn a lot about racing ultras just from crewing and getting the experience that way. So he may be, I don't know, I'd have to check the facts to see how many people got in on the first try this year, but he might be one of the most hated people on the starting line at Western States 100, because people, like I had a client that has had a couple years in a row consecutively of entering it, and has dealt with some injuries late in 2015, and needed to run the last race on the calendar up in San Francisco, the Rio del Lago 100, and she had a month, of preparation leading into that, and I would not condone, or encourage that sort of behavior, but she didn't want to lose, because if you get, say you get 5 years in a row of entering that, and then you don't have a qualifying race to get that 6th year, Well, all those accumulations and the doubling of the lottery tickets, they get wiped away, and you have to start over.
Oh man!
So,
jeez.
Yeah, it's gnarly, and like you can't, it's a lottery, but like you have to run a qualifying race in order to even just put in for the lottery. So it's not like a New York or something where you used to be able to just put in for the lottery. Like you have to run a qualifying race, be it a 50 miler or a 100 miler or 100K, just to sign up for the lottery. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, he's a very lucky individual. If he hasn't bought a lottery ticket yet, he should definitely go buy a scratch off, because he's got luck on his side. So
yeah, it's funny. Well, hopefully the gear that him and Steve came up with for the race makes up for it, and all those people will be stoked on the hats and the shirts that they put out there, because those look killer. Just like you said earlier, I think you saw them. So
yeah, they're rad.
I'll ship something out your way while I'm there. So I'll get some. I'll get you a souvenir.
For sure. And that's the thing. Like it's so cool to see like a company like that's more of like a lifestyle driven running brand, making the gear for the races, because so oftentimes you get like these cheesy like moisture wicking shirts, and then you never wear it because it doesn't look cool. So it's cool to see that they branded some really nice stuff, and it looks really good. And I'm excited for them, and I hope everything works out. I'm looking forward to it.